right? Who are you in Christ? And that's the difference. How did they know Paul? It's because he had an identity in Christ, right? He had an identity in Christ. And by the world standards, he was just a tent maker. But in Christ, he held some weight, right? He was somebody in the spirit. And that's what the evil spirits say. Oh, we know Paul, right? But who are you? You ain't nobody, right? And that's what I want y'all to see is that, man, that's what we should seek after, right? We should seek after that identity in Christ, right? I want to hold some weight in the spirit, right? And this is what I think, this is what God intends for us. This is what we should be seeking after, right? This is where we should find our identity, right? And to get back, I guess to freedom is that because I feel like I'm now more confident ever in my life just because, like, I know who I am in Christ. And I'm not saying just because I'm a little preacher boy. No, heck no, right? I ain't nobody. But I'm just saying the fact that I pray, right? I fast. I do my thing, right? I have a relationship with God. Now I have confidence, right? And that's the source of my confidence, even for the world, right? No matter what happens to me, I'm God's child, right? This is where our confidence should come from, right? Because in the past, I used to try to be like somebody I wasn't. I would try to act a certain way, whatever, but that's not real, right? And now I have true freedom. Now I could be myself. I remember back then I would be afraid to be too nice because I didn't want to come off as soft or this or that. But now that my identity is in Christ and I have a confidence, I have a freedom to even be who I am, right? And this is what I'm preaching to y'all. It's just freedom, right? Now at work, I'm really nice, right? And I don't care, right? I don't care if anybody's like, he's a little too nice or he's a little too, because it gives God glory, right? Right? I'm confident in who I am. I don't have to be ashamed of being myself now, right? I remember back in the day, I used to hate that I was patient. And I'm not saying this to like, I'm like bragging, but I hated it back then. I felt like it takes a lot for me to even just get mad, and I hated that back then, right? And so to the point where I would even get mad even when I wasn't, just because I knew that I should have, right? But now I've learned that that's a good thing, God. Like, that's something that you gave me, right? And I even think, like, maybe that's why you named me Stephen, because Stephen was getting falsely accused and he was like nothing. I was like, God, maybe that's why you named me that. I don't know, right? But all I'm saying is, like, now I'm like, God, I'm going to take that because that's a good thing, right? And now that I'm in you, right, I'm going to just own it, right? You've made me this way, and thank you. And I'll give thanks to God for that. But I have a freedom to be who I am in Christ. I don't have to worry about anybody else. And I'm not saying I've arrived. I'm not saying I made it, because there's still a whole process, right? I still want to be more open even up here, and maybe even to sing. There's still a work that's still to come. But there's a freedom in Christ that we can have, right? And that's what I want, right?